In this presentation, we will learn how to return pointers from a function. For this purpose, I'm going to give you a program in order to find out the mid of the array. With the help of this program, we will learn how to return pointers from a function. So let's get started. In order to find out the mid of the array, here is the program. Inside this main function, we have this array which contains these many elements. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. There are total 5 elements in this array. But in order to find out the number of elements of this array programmatically, we should write this line. Size of the whole array divided by the size of the first element of the array. This helps us in calculating the number of elements stored in this array. For this example, n will contain value 5, right? After this line, we have another line in which I have declared one pointer, mid, which is pointing to some integer. So this mid pointer will contain some address which is pointed by findMid function. The parameters passed to this findMid function are a and n. That means the whole array and the variable n. Please note down that if we want to pass the whole array, we just have to write the name of the array. And if we want to pass an integer variable, then we just have to write the name of that variable. So the address which is returned by this function will get stored in this mid pointer. Finally, with the help of printf function, we can print the content stored in that particular location pointed by this pointer. Let's see how findMid function works. In the definition of this function, we can see we are returning the address of a n by 2. Now what does it mean? We know that n contains value 5 according to this example. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, but as it is an integer division, therefore 0.5 will get truncated and we're left with just value 2. Therefore we can say that a n by 2 is equivalent to a2. That means we should go to the index 2 and get the element. Index always starts from 0, therefore index 2 will be at this point. We can see here the value is 3 at index 2. Therefore a2 is equivalent to 3. But we want the address of this element. Therefore, we should write ampersand in front of this a n by 2. Ampersand is address of operator, which helps us to get the address of the element. If we want to get the address of this element, we should mention ampersand. And finally, we can return this address back to this pointer. So we can say that pointer points to this particular location, which contains value 3. And we can see here for this array, mid is also 3. Now with the help of this printf function, we can print this value 3 on the screen. Therefore the output is 3 for this program. There is also one important point for us to understand. We can see here the data type of this function is int star, right? It is indicating that we are returning some pointer or some address. Here we can see we are returning the address of this particular element. Returning the address is equivalent to returning the pointer. That is why we have written int star as a data type of this function. Int star means that we are returning the address of some integer. And for receiving that address, we must have a pointer here. And we can see here, we have a pointer which will also contain the address of some integer. As we can see, the data type is int star, right? After understanding this program, here is a word of caution for you. Never ever try to return the address of an automatic variable. Automatic variable is also called as a local variable. We should never try to return the address of a local variable. For example, we have this program in which in this main function, we have this pointer which will contain the address of some integer which is returned by this function fun. And inside this function, we can see we have this variable I, which is an automatic variable. That is the local variable of this function. I will contain value 10 and we are trying to return the address of this variable. But please note down that after returning the address of this variable, this function get destroyed. And the variables which are local to this function will also get destroyed. Therefore, we are trying to return the address of a variable which is already destroyed, right? So here pointer is trying to point to an address of a variable which is already destroyed. Therefore, it is illegal and warning message will get generated. Function returns address of local variable. You can see this warning message after executing this program. Therefore, it is important for us to understand that we should never return the address of some automatic variable. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this presentation.